We've all dreamt of touching the stars, right? Venturing out beyond our solar system. But what do you think is really holding us back? Is it just the rockets, the sheer distance, the time, or maybe the real barrier isn't about building faster ships at all, but something, I don't know, more fundamental about us? Okay, let's unpack this, because today we're diving into something really fascinating and honestly kind of unexpected. It's this deep connection between understanding human longevity, the whole cycle of life and death, and the path to becoming a true interstellar civilization. It really flips the script on how we usually think about space exploration. So our source for this deep dive is a piece called Master's Insight, hashtag 055 Zusi Papa Zusista, which translates roughly to Cosmic Journey Through Life's Essence. It's by Fuchi Wu, who's known as Apti, and Junshi Dash, dated July 2, 2025. And what really grabbed me is this mix of deep philosophy and actual practical stuff. These authors, they actually hold a U.S. patent, US 826A058B2, for a high-efficiency labyrinthine air treatment device. And they've got other patents pending, too.
So it signals these ideas aren't just floating out there. They're grounded in something tangible.
Yeah, and the claim they're making is pretty bold, isn't it? They're basically saying humanity's real path to the stars, well, it isn't primarily about better spaceships or new propulsion. No, it's fundamentally about getting a handle on what they call the essence of life. So our mission today is to really dig into that central argument. The idea that if we as a species can't overcome birth, aging, sickness, and death, the Kilaya cycle, then we're stuck here. We're basically, trapped on Earth, prisoners of time, and, interestingly, environmental toxins. Their core premise, significant life extension, isn't just a cool sci-fi idea. It's the only way interstellar exploration becomes actually possible. It really puts our biology front and center, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. So if our biology is the chain, how do we break it? This is where the source introduces its core concept, and it's a big one. They call it Toxin Concentration Dominance Theory. And get this, they're positioning it not just as a theory of aging, but as the fundamental life theory for how cosmic civilization even begins.
Exactly. And what's sort of revolutionary about this toxin concentration dominance theory is how it tries to demystify life's processes. So imagine aging isn't this vague, inevitable decline. Instead, it's presented almost like accounting. You've got toxins coming in. You've got your body trying to clear them out. It reframes it completely, suggesting maybe we have more control than we think. It's less fate, more a manageable equation, potentially.
Right, an equation. And this theory, which they lay out in Chapter 1, it actually breaks life down into 4 specific stages, calculable stages, they say. The first one is birth. They describe it as this kind of ideal state, Gene construction is happening, our detoxification systems are working perfectly, it's like zero toxin activation, a clean slate, primed for growth. Okay, then comes aging. And they picture this as like a tipping point. Think of your body as a super efficient factory in youth, clearing waste easily. Aging starts, according to this theory, when the toxins start piling up faster than your body's metabolism can handle.
The system just can't keep up.
Exactly. The disposal system gets overwhelmed, creating this internal imbalance.
And that imbalance, well, it leads straight into the next stage, sickness.
Uh.
This is when the buildup isn't just causing a general slowdown, but the toxins actually hit a saturation point, like a dam overflowing. The body can't contain it anymore. And that leads to specific parts breaking down, localized failures, organ dysfunction. The load's just too much. Which brings us to the final stage, death. Defined simply as the point where the detoxification organs just fail completely, give up, life stops. But here's the really profound part, the truth, they assert. Birth, aging, sickness, death. They argue these are not some fixed destiny, not inevitable fate. They say they are calculable and, importantly, delayable physical processes.
Delayable.
Yeah, that's a massive shift from how we usually think about mortality, isn't it?
It really is. That challenges everything. So, how do they back that up? The idea that it's calculable and delayable, what does knowing that actually unlock for us?
Well, it goes back to the quantifiable idea. If it's all about toxin concentration, then theoretically, if you can measure that concentration, if you can manage it, you can influence the speed of these stages.
Oh, okay.
The implication is huge. Our biological clock isn't rigidly set. It's affected by our internal environment, which maybe, just maybe, we can control. It changes the question from how long will I live to how long could I live if I managed these factors.
Wow. Okay, so if we can actually manage these processes, if we decode this was the thing, how does that change the game for space travel, for getting off Earth? This is where Chapter 2 connects the dots, right, between biology and actually reaching the stars.
Exactly. This is where it gets very practical. The authors argue that extended lifespans aren't just a bonus feature for astronauts, they're the minimum entry requirement for deep space. I mean, think about it. The journeys we're talking about, they're not weeks or months.
No.
The source says decades to centuries.
Centuries, wow.
Right. Our fastest probes are barely crawling at interstellar scales. A 100-year mission just doesn't work if your crew has a standard 80-year lifespan. They wouldn't even get back.
And it's not just the time, is it? Space itself is harsh.
Oh, incredibly harsh. Forget spa retreat. You've got constant space radiation, the unbelievable psychological stress of isolation for decades. These aren't minor issues. The source argues they'd massively speed up toxin generation inside the body.
So it's a double whammy.
Totally. You need to live way longer just for the travel time, but the environment you're in is actively trying to shorten your life even faster.
Like running uphill in a blizzard.
While carrying extra weights, yeah. So any realistic long-haul mission needs people with, and this is their term, strong antitoxin and slow aging capabilities. It's not just survival. It's staying functional and healthy for potentially centuries in a hostile place.
Which leads to their pretty stark conclusion, doesn't it? If we cannot achieve life extension, the universe remains forever forbidden territory. That really hits home. Even with warp drive or whatever future tech, if the crew can't make the journey biologically,
Then it's a no-go.
our own bodies are the final frontier, in a way. Okay, so if biology is the lock, what's the key they propose? How do we actually get this long life, slow aging ability? Is it genetic engineering? A magic pill?
Well, it's actually something much more environmental in their view. They introduced this concept called HUSAT, which translates to Human's Little Heaven,
Wow.
and it's used together with their Air 6-free maze purifier. It's presented as a tangible engineered setup, not just a theoretical fix.
Human's little heaven.
Okay.
That sounds utopian. What does it actually look like according to the source? What's involved?
Well, the details in Chapter 3 are pretty specific. They describe it as an environment built to mimic the ultra-clean conditions of a future interstellar capsule, but right here on Earth. So, picture living in a space where the air is incredibly pure with toxin levels near zero. It even includes a special zone called Wick Tray, or Sleep Little Heaven.
A sleep zone.
Yeah, a space specifically engineered for deep restorative sleep, optimizing the body's natural repair cycles.
Yeah, the core technology making this possible is that purifier you mentioned, the Air 6-free maze purifier.
That's the one. And 6-free is specific. It means filtering out 6 key categories of pollutants: particulates, formaldehyde, VOCs, CO2, bacteria, and allergens.
So basically creating an ultra-pure air bubble.
Precisely. Meticulously controlling the external environment to optimize the internal one, reducing that toxin load dramatically. And this is where the patent comes in again. US 826 AZER 58B2, it shows they've actually engineered hardware based on these ideas. It's not just talk.
Okay, so this human's little heaven, it's more than just living longer here on Earth. It serves another purpose.
Right. It's got this dual function. Slowing aging now, yes, but it's also framed as a vital physiological adaptation training ground.
Training for what?
For future space bases, for those long missions. It's like an Earth-based boot camp for space explorers.
Getting their bodies pre-adapted to the kind of clean, controlled environments they'll find or need in space.
Exactly. And this whole concept, this Earth spaceship, it's not just practice. It's presented as a fundamental step. It's about proving we can manage our biology by engineering our environment here first, taking control of that toxin balance on Earth. Because if we can't create and sustain these optimized conditions here, how can we possibly expect our biology to cope with the extremes of deep space? It leads to that really powerful closing thought from them. Don't dream of leaving the solar system without first building an Earth spaceship.
Master ourselves before we try to master the stars.
That's the essence of it.
Yeah.
The foundation for going cosmic has to be built right here, by mastering our own biology and immediate environment.
And that, I think, brings our deep dive full circle. What an incredible journey. We started with the dream of stars, explored this radical idea about life processes, toxin management, life extension, and landed on the notion that this, mastering our biology, not just building better rockets, is maybe the real starting point for becoming interstellar.
Absolutely. And that final statement from the source really lingers, doesn't it? Cosmic civilization begins not with the construction of interstellar spacecraft, but with the reconstruction of life's very logic. It's a total shift in thinking. Our own biology is the ultimate frontier. They even mention something called Oath of 1,000 Suns, framing it as the origin point for future human expansion, suggesting this requires a deep collective commitment to this new way of thinking about life itself.
It definitely challenges the standard sci-fi narrative, suggesting the biggest hurdle isn't out there, but in here, inside us. So thinking about all this, what really stands out to you? If getting a handle on our biological destiny truly is the key to unlocking the stars, what other forbidden territories might that unlock? Both, within ourselves, maybe consciousness or potential, and maybe other places beyond Earth we haven't even considered. What else becomes possible?